Baby Mary was only 10 months old when her life was cut short by the two people who were supposed to love and protect her. Welcome to human monsters. At the time of her death, she only weighed 7 pounds. So on August the 2nd of 2018, Mary's father, Seth Welch, found Mary unresponsive in her crib. He then called his attorney, then called his parents, and did some Googling, and about 2 hours later, he calls 911. He told the dispatcher, "I guess I don't know if this is the right place to report this, but one of my children is dead." When the 911 operator asked Seth if Mary was beyond help, Seth said, "Oh yeah, she's dead as a doornail." When the dispatcher asked Seth how he was holding up, Seth replied, "You know, it's just another day. It is what it is." He then claimed his wife Tatiana did CPR, but it was too late. Seth said they put the baby to bed around 3 p.m. the day before and didn't check on her again until 10 a.m. the next day. So this baby was left unattended for almost 20 hours. No food, no water, no changing, nothing. So police arrive at the home and they find Mary. A veteran police officer said this was the worst case of child neglect he'd ever seen. Mary was skeletal. Her eyes and cheeks were sunk in. She was so tiny and so filthy. It was obvious she hadn't been fed, changed, or washed in a long time. There was mice and mice feces all throughout the house and that bedroom. Mary's crib was filthy and covered in mold. That precious baby looked like something out of a horror movie. During their interrogation, Seth and Tatiana show no remorse at all and take no accountability. The couple admitted that they noticed Mary was underweight and sickly as early as a month prior to her death. So the officer asked, "Why didn't you take her to the doctor?" And Seth says, "Due to our religious beliefs, we don't believe in doctors. We just pray it away, and if it's God's will, then that's just what it is." During the interrogation, Tatiana and Seth bragged to each other about how nothing was going to happen to them. They were even snickering and laughing with each other because they had family who were attorneys. They were prepared. They had other children besides Mary, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and CPS had previously investigated them for child neglect when they weren't taking care of the first child, but that case was closed and forgotten. The police continued to investigate. Police find out their own family had reported them to CPS many times. The family told CPS, "Just look at their house. This guy wants to be a cult leader. They're using religion to abuse their kids." One relative told CPS, "You need to get these kids out of that home ASAP." But every single report was ignored. Now Tatiana was ride or die for Seth until they went to court, and then she flipped like a coin. All of a sudden, now that she's facing a life sentence, she claims she's a victim of domestic violence. She claims Seth was abusive and she had no way out. But Tatiana had a job and a car. And she confessed to the police that she would not give Mary any formula or food. There was plenty of food and water in this house. They chose not to feed this baby. Listen, I'm not body shaming, but these two did not miss a meal. So they sat there and ate in front of these kids knowing they were starving to death. And sadly, Mary paid the price. Both got life in prison without the possibility of parole. Their reaction went viral.